everybody, Shawn Hilton here at Comics Cubed in the heart of downtown Kokomo, located at 121 East Sycamore, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 6. Today in our super quick Comics in Review, the books that are out this morning, right now on New Comic Day, Wednesday, February, March 4th, so we'll go with March 4th. I feel good with that. First up, Marvel's brand new #1 Moon Knight, the first issue by Warren Ellis. Warren Ellis, a writer known for doing a little bit more gritty, in-your-face, kind of a Frank Millerish kind of feel to what he has done in the past by not really dumbing down or making family-friendly comics for the most part. Warren's known to get his hands a little bloody and bruised up. So we bring back Moon Knight, a mercenary character from Marvel's around the late 70s, early 80s, bringing him back again. This is a character that is constantly being redone, reworked, retweaked. He's that B-list character that is always striving to be in an A-level area and just can't seem to get his grips into it. And some of the really big names of the comic industry have worked on this character. And here we go, relaunch, let's do it again. Well, what did I think? Art's pretty sharp, story's pretty good. Very different feel to this particular Moon Knight. Straight out, the old spandex, white cow, cape kind of thing is gone. He is walking around in basically what appears to be a three-piece suit with a Moon Knight mask very tightly wrapped around his face, working with the police. So we have kind of a suspense crime thriller with a little bit of action. Overall, pretty good little read, very interesting. It ends with a little bit of a surreal moment, some strange stuff still going on, but not so mind-bendy, twisty as maybe the last run where he was kind of having personality conflicts and was thinking that he was talking to people that weren't there and things like that. A little more down to earth. He's more of a street-level character. Back in New York, which we'll see how that works out. But overall, it's definitely worth the read for the first issue. I did enjoy it. It was a fun little book. Evil Empire from Boom, coming from Max Bemis, who's a lead singer for some band. And I'm sure all the young kids know who it is, but I couldn't tell you. He also had recently done Polarity, I believe also for Boom, which was a really good read. Evil Empire is a strange book in the sense that the entire first issue, we're trying to figure out what it's really going for, what the big twist is, what is the evil empire. The entire thing seems to be about politics and those who are working against the mainstream. And we're not talking like crazy rebels. We're actually talking about, artists. And in this particular thing, we're looking at a kind of an indie rap singer who's just kind of anti-establishment. We're not talking crazy anarchy, burning the buildings, but kind of like a Rage Against the Machine kind of sound to her rap lyrics and whatnot. And she ends up getting involved with a politician, and then you have a really big twist ending. Really well written, good art, a funky story, no superheroes here. This is definitely more of your new school comic where we're looking at a little more reading and a little less pow pow bang piff and all that kind of thing. Even Marvel and DC and whatnot. This falls a little more into your Dark Horse, Boom obviously, they're the ones doing it, kind of a feel. So worth checking out, but not going to be for everybody. So keep that in mind. This is something that maybe a little deeper for those who are interested in the whole politics thing, really into that. If your Facebook is filled up with I support this guy, I hate that guy, this is a book you're going to probably want to check out. IDW is putting out one of the best books I've read in a long time. It's got one problem that we'll get into here in a minute. Right now, this one, raked Howard. The team's been on it since the beginning. The idea is kind of serenity, post-apocalypse, things in the air, kind of airplanes, blimps, that kind of stuff going on, fighting for resources and fuel and just, keep flying and all that kind of jazz, but with a family feel to it. And I don't mean family as in, everybody in the family should be reading it. No, this is more of the crew is like a family. So that's kind of where I get the serenity feel to it. But really good story. A little bit of an action kind of piece, but a little bit of drama. Just is really one of my absolute favorites right now. And in this particular issue, we get down to the heart of the matter that there's a traitor that's come along that really even I originally was shocked when they announced that this character was like the big traitor. So really well put together. In fact, one of my really top flight books. Now I said it has a problem. The only problem this book has is the fact this is issue 4 and it's coming out like every 3 months or so. It's very long time in between issues, and it just drives me up the wall when I have a book that I find to be so incredibly good, so well written, so well drawn. The characters are coming together incredibly well. This whole thing is clicking on all cylinders, and then I have to wait, which is very similar to what's currently going on in Damon. I think we're being broken into from the back. Oh, it's just my helper, Andy. Damon's kind of the same deal. It's about vampires and the guy who watches out over their interests during the day while they're sleeping. Now, I don't like vampires very much, so it's always odd when a vampire book pops up that I really enjoy. And in this case, Boom, again, 2 from Boom this week. Going good, guys. Really well put together book. It's great solid story, great action, following the exploits of a guy who's a human trying to keep vampires alive and safe while they're doing, you know, whatever they're doing while they're inactive. And in this, we get involved in drug trade through vampires. What's up with that? Family politics. People who like the Masquerade, Vampire the Masquerade from White Wolf and stuff are going to have a little something in here. People who like vampire culture going to have something in here. People who like adventure books are going to have something in here. And people who like a character who's kind of that alpha male, bring up yourself kind of badass character are going to really enjoy this as well. Boom's doing really a lot of good stuff recently, so highly recommend that. One of my absolute favorites, Image's Velvet, female, spies, espionage, Cold War, James Bondy kind of feel without necessarily all the gadgets, a little more real world, down to earth kind of feel to it. And in this particular one, Brubaker and Epting, known for their work on Captain America, are bringing in everything. Super solid storylines, things are coming together incredibly well. Female secretary, for a special spy organization kind of thing, has taken this kind of secretary role, but was an active field agent in the past. So a friend of hers gets whacked, she gets a little more active, gets involved in the investigation, then finds herself kind of out in the cold, and all of a sudden back in the field on her own, cut off from everything. Great characterization in here, really well written, amazing art from Epting, top-notch material all the way around. This is by far one of the best books out there for the action suspense crowd right now. So that's literally where I've been going a lot lately. But that means we do need to talk about some kind of superhero thing. So let's get into DC's Forever Evil. This is their big, super action-packed, crazy book right now that's been coming out for 6 months leading into their next big thing. There's only going to be 7 issues, and finally in this one we reveal who this big secret character is that's been hidden, and it's anticlimactic as hell. I will ruin it for you, it's not Wally West, and that only really leaves one other character that could have been. However, as big anticlimactic as I thought the reveal was at the end and how it was put together, this beautiful story, well put together, a lot of action, cool stuff going on. DC, I think, has done a really good job with this thing overall, and if you're a Dick Grayson fan, again, Nightwing, you're not going to want to miss out on this. It is a book to pick up. Just, as I said, the little anticlimactic on your big reveal. First issue, Wolverine and the X-Men. It comes back, it's fun. Quentin Quire is off to doing crazy stuff. Fun little book, new Marvel relaunch. Saviors number 3. James Robinson's coming at you with, I think it's, we're looking at another Image book. Space aliens, people trying to fight it off. Again, kind of a more real world kind of a thing. She-Hulk, a little more down to earth as well. We're looking at lawyer type stuff, just can't stand the art. Good story, Patsy Walker, girls' night out, craziness ensues, building up your background cast with yet another character, well put together. Cannot stand the art. Art just drives me off the wall in that one. New Warriors and Nova. These are kind of, as far as I'm concerned, these should be companion books. They're coming out in the same month. They're absolutely perfect. Nova is the perfect book for the entire family, and I don't mean that as in it's dummied down. This is a book that an 8-year-old can read and a 41-year-old like myself can read, and you're gonna love it. Action, drama, Beta Ray Bill, the horse Thor guy that we see every once in a while is in there, space exploration, super cool book, love it. New Warriors, we're gonna get together a small team of superhero teens, very reminiscent of what was going on in late 80s, early 90s. Well, I think that was 91, right in that era, but really good stuff, a lot of fun, also a good book. Punisher. Man, the Punisher's been kicking some ass lately. 3 issues in, really well put together. This is not necessarily Chuck Dixon style. Chuck hasn't been working on it for a while. I wish he would, but they're doing a really, really good job with whoever Edmondson is. So if you're a Punisher fan, he's back really good, solid storytelling. No goofy go boots. No, he's fighting supervillains that he should never have been fighting. This is down to earth. He's out in LA, taking on the drug trade, Mexican cartels, all kinds of stuff. A chemical weapon. They do introduce a supervillain for him to kind of go up against, working for the cartels, but a supervillain that you could believe, yeah, Frank might have a chance against that. So kind of cool. Marvel put out Magneto #1. Really well put together. My only problem is Magneto just doesn't look like Magneto. He looks kind of like some dumb thug. I'm not sure what that's about, but overall the story is pretty sharp. And for those of us who really enjoyed the first scene of him going around killing Nazis and X-Men First Class, that first movie, little reminiscent of that. You do not want to be the guy that is on, the KKK version against mutants when, Mr. Magneto's around or whatever he's going to call himself. Bad things are going to happen. Ferris from DC was a good read this week. Bad Blood from Dark Horse was a good read this week. Loki from Marvel continues to be a really solid, good read. In fact, if anything, this might have been one of Marvel's, this might be Marvel's book that people aren't reading that they really should be checking out. And last but not least, Dark Horse put out The Veil from my good buddy Greg Rucka, well-known novelist and all that kind of stuff. A lot of fun, great art. Funky, weird kind of book though. We are looking at, I don't know, a supernatural thriller of some sort or some kind of sci-fi kind of bent. A little bit of a River from Serenity, crazy chick kind of thing. So that is what some fun, that is just some of the stuff we've got over here at Comics Cubed, right in the heart of downtown Kokomo. So stop in, check it out, and then call us up or stop by and check out Operation Comic Drop. This week we'll be putting together packages going overseas to soldiers in the desert, and we'll be sending them over some comic books, and we're going to do that with your help. So stop in at Comics Cubed. I'm Shawn Hilton. Thanks for checking out GeekStorm's Comic Review.